Hey, good morning. So yesterday I had a meeting with my student council students and I was talking to them about how they're feeling, and I was asking them, is there anything I can do to support you guys? How are you doing? What questions do you have? How can I just be there, right? I'm just trying to figure out what they need. And there was a whole lot of silence at this point. It was almost like they were telling me something in the silence. And finally, one little voice piped up and she said, "We're just disappointed. There's nothing you can do. There's not any particular questions you can answer. We're just disappointed because going back to school doesn't look like we all get to just enter the building and hang out with our friends and be together and just do all the social things we used to do. And we don't get to have our classes the way they were." They said, "We're disappointed." And I thought about that because I've been struggling myself to articulate a video for my students. And I realized it's because I'm struggling with the same emotion. Students, you're not the only ones. Fellow teachers, you're not the only ones. Community members, parents, you're not the only ones. We are all facing a level of disappointment right now. And I'm not going to point fingers and say, well, if it wasn't the state, if it wasn't the local, if it wasn't the... No. What I'm going to do is say, I hate COVID. Because that virus came about and it hurt a whole bunch of people. A bunch of people I care about and a community that I love have been hurt by this virus. And you know what? That sucks. And as adults, it's up to us to label the emotions we are feeling and to talk about them. Because the children that are around us, they need us to be honest. They need us to tell the truth because they're battling the same emotions, but they have less tools and less life experience to process them. So it's up to us. It's up to us to say to our students, you know what? I'm disappointed too, but I may be disappointed, but I am choosing to get up and keep going. We have to show our students that we are fighters. We have to show them that when you're disappointed, when you feel like life is taking every piece of energy, every piece of joy you have, we do not give up. And the adults, we have to be the ones leading that narrative. And you know what? I'm not lecturing anybody because for a full week, I haven't had the strength to do that. I haven't had the strength to lead the narrative. So when I had this realization that my own disappointment has been affecting my ability to be there for my students, my ability to feel joy in my life, that's a problem. COVID is not going to take my joy. It's not going to take my optimism, my positivity, the fulfillment I find in my career. COVID's not going to take that. And I can choose to stop giving COVID that power. Because there are times when I lose this battle and I allow myself to travel the path of disappointment and stay there. But I got to say no. I got to stop it when I see it. So I don't really have any great words of wisdom except to say it's okay if you feel disappointed. And let's be honest about our disappointment with our students and our children. Let's tell them the truth. Yes, let's be honest. Let's help them process what they're feeling by telling them the truth about what we're feeling. And finally, we have to do what we can where we are with what we have. We cannot sit around and lament that we're not somewhere else doing something else with different resources. Because that's okay. It's okay to do what we can where we are with what we have. And we can choose that. And we will. And I believe it. I believe in us as a collective humanity. I believe we can persevere through this time. So don't give up. Let's stay in this together. Yes, we will all feel disappointment at some point or another. But it is up to each one of us to label that emotion, process it, and move on. Because we can do it, and we will. I'm proud of you. Let's keep going together.